Good evening, world. This is Ivan Mayer here again. It is 5 o'clock, coming to 5 o'clock in the evening. I woke up around 3:30 today, and there's a technician came in the house, and he's fixing up the internet because the internet connection is not working well in the house. He just finished fixing the internet connection, so he'll be leaving any time now. So I'm making the video now while he's like leaving, pretty much. I have some great news to you, Lord of the Rings fans. I finished the whole three-book series. I'm officially part of the Lord of the Rings family now. As I finished the three books, I finished there was nothing to do because there was no internet connection. So while the guy was fixing the internet, I read what I read the remaining like 30 pages of Lord of the Rings. I read like 28 pages of Lord of the Rings today. I finished the whole book. I had that when I finished. I had that smile on my face. Holy shit! I actually read the whole book. Yeah, I read all three books of Lord of the Rings. I'm officially part of the Lord of the Rings family. I now know what it's like. Yeah. I read Lord of the Rings. I read Fellowship of the Ring like 2.5 times, and I read Two Towers and Return of the King too. Obviously, yeah, because I remember reading Fellowship of the Ring in grade five. I read the whole book in grade five, and I did a project on it. I remember I got a pretty good mark on it too. I got like a B or something like that. I did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did a project, a grade five project on. I read the whole Fellowship of the Ring in grade five, the whole book, and then I reread it like last year. I finished Lord of the Rings. I reread Fellowship of the Ring last year. I read Two Towers last year, and then Return of the King. I slacked off a lot reading. Slacked off with my reading a lot. I should have been done Return of the King like the end of last year, but I just slacked off. And finally, I read it, and what I ended up finishing though, I finished the whole book. I slacked off. I finished the whole three books, man. All three books I finished. Holy shit! And you welcome to the Lord of the Rings family. Yeah, I can officially, yeah. Even though I don't remember a lot of the stuff I read in Lord, because Lord of the Rings is tough to what. It's a tough book to grasp, on your first read. Like Lord of the Rings, like even the people who are very smart and who have big USBs, they probably grasp maybe 20%, 30% of Lord of the Rings when they read it, man, the first time. Because it's tough to remember everything in the book. Because he's Lord of the Rings. I mean, J.R.R. Tolkien describes all these lands, a lot of characters. It's crazy. You see what I'm saying? It's a tough book to follow, Lord of the Rings. That's why I'm shocked that Peter Jackson pulled it off. Because Lord of the Rings is a tough book to adapt, man. I can never adapt a book like Lord of the Rings. It's too hard for me. I can never ever adapt a book like Lord of the Rings. It's too hard for me. I can never ever adapt a book like Lord of the Rings. It's too hard. I can never ever adapt a book like Lord of the Rings. It's too hard for me. You see what I'm saying? Ivan, really? Yes, it's too hard. That's why I'm shocked Peter Jackson pulled it off. But I told you, even though Peter Jackson pulled it off, he cut out a lot of things in the book. You see what I'm saying? He cut out like 80% of the stuff that's in the book, and he made up a lot of his own stuff, obviously. But he was faithful to the themes and concepts of Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying? So in terms of faithfulness, Peter Jackson was faithful to the themes and the concepts of Lord of the Rings. He was faithful, obviously, but in terms of following scenes and dialogue, he cut out a lot of stuff and added in his own dialogue in the movie. You see what I'm saying? But he was faithful in terms of the what? The root of the story, he was faithful. As the main root of the story is Frodo destroying the ring. Strider and all the other guys fighting the armies of Sauron. Isengard and the armies of Sauron. That's pretty much the story, obviously. And Aragorn becomes king. You see what I'm saying? And then Sam, what? After the scorching of the Shire, Sam gets married, obviously, and he gets a daughter, and he marries Rosie. You know what I'm saying? And Frodo leaves to the Undying Lands, the Grey Havens, whatever it is, with Gandalf and Galadriel and all them. You know what I'm saying? And what? And that ends. And at the end of Return of the King ends with I'm back. Sam's like, well, I'm back. Yeah, he's back. He's back in the Shire. Yeah, and Frodo goes to the Undying Lands with Gandalf and all them. You see what I'm saying? It's an amazing story. But in my opinion, the Fellowship of the Ring is the worst of the three books. Fellowship of the Ring is the worst of the three books. In my opinion, it's not the best. Fellowship of the Ring is the worst of the three books, in my opinion. It's not the best of three books. It's the worst of three books. You see what I'm saying? It's not the best of three books. It's the worst of three books. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people like Fellowship of the Ring the best, but in my opinion, Fellowship of the Ring is the worst. I think I think I think Return of the King is the best of the books. You can argue Two Towers better, but I mean I kind of like Two Towers better than Return of the King, the book. I mean, because that the scene when Sam rescues Frodo from the spider, that was interesting in Two Towers, and this all the scenes with Gollum and Faramir and all, so those are interesting scenes in the book in Two Towers. You can argue Two Towers is better than Return of the King if you want. Nah, Return of the King is better. Return of the King, you have more stuff going on. You have the Pelennor battles. It's more interesting. Obviously, in my opinion, for the books, it goes Return of the King and Two Towers Fellowship. For the movies, it goes Two Towers Fellowship and Return of the King for me. I think Return of the King is the worst of the movies. I think Return of the King is the best for the books. See what I'm saying? As Return of the King, when you watch it, it's clearly the worst of the three, man. When you watch the movies, you see a difference in quality, obviously. Of the movies, obviously. Even though the movie was amazing, you had a lot of bad CGI in the movie. Return of the King has the worst CGI out of all the three movies. It has some bad CGI. The Army of the Dead look very cheesy and goofy. They look like people from Scooby Doo. You know what I'm saying? The scene in the end when the Eye of Sauron collapses, that was bad CGI. Remember the scene when all the orcs surround Aragorn in the end when Frodo destroys the ring, you get all the what? You get the rocks, the foundation breaking and it falls down. You can tell that was a little cheesy CGI, obviously. Lord of the Rings had good CGI for back then. When you watch it now, you clearly see you can spot the bad CGI in Lord of the Rings, especially Return of the King. That's why Return of the King they had the most reshoots, because Return of the King had a lot of messy CGI. You see what I'm saying? Hence why they had to redo a lot of scenes also, because Return of the King was the worst of the three movies. Yeah, it had the most action also, but I told you the wars were all rushed. The Rohan War was rushed. The Gondor War was rushed. The war in the end when they created diversion for Frodo, that was rushed. You know, so Ivan, what's your best battle and best action sequence in the book? I don't know. The best action sequence in the book, probably the Gondor War with Gandalf and Pippin. When the Mordor army marches to Minas Tirith in Gondor, that's probably the best war. The Rohan War had the best speech, the best charge, and the best speech, but the war was bad. It wasn't that good. It was rushed. It was pretty much what? It was pretty much horses running over the orcs. You see what I'm saying? It was pretty bad, that war. It wasn't that good. You see what I'm saying? It was pretty bad, that war. You see what I'm saying? The war was pretty bad. Yes, the war was pretty bad. It wasn't that great. Don't hate me, Peter Jackson. The war wasn't that great. You see what I'm saying? But Return of the King was a masterpiece. All three movies are masterpieces. But when you watch the movies, it's clear. In my opinion, it's clear. Two Towers is the best of the three when you watch it. Helm's Deep was an amazing kick-ass war, man. That was an amazing war. That was the best war in the whole movie, man. The Helm's Deep battle was sick. A lot of people like the Rohan War better in Return of the King. I'm like, it's not better, man. The Rohan War, Theoden's speech was amazing. That was legendary. And the charge was amazing, but the war wasn't that good compared to Helm's Deep. So Helm's Deep was a better battle than that fucking war. Helm's Deep battle beats out all the Return of the King wars in the movie. You see what I'm saying? It beats out all the Return of the King wars in the movie. You know what I'm saying? It beats out all the Return of the King wars in the movie. Yeah, man. Well, think of a war better than even Helm's Deep for Zanus, as I am pouring, $400+ million towards CGI technology special effects towards my movie. You can only imagine, and I'm actually hiring thousands of extras. I'm not gonna have them. I'm not gonna have like 300 extras and then just add in CGI effects. No, I'm actually gonna hire thousands of extras. Hence, the war will be more badass. It will look more real because I'm actually hiring thousands of extras. And that's why Peter Jackson was shocked. Holy shit, Ivan! You're actually hiring like thousands of extras for the war. Yeah, thousands of extras of war, and you add in the CGI technology for the humans who are wearing the costumes, and hence you'll get a better war. Whereas Lord of the Rings, whenever you saw the orc army marching, you can tell they were real. They look real, but the moment the ladders started appearing out of the door, and you saw the orcs marching up the ladders, you can tell it was CGI. See what I'm saying? If you don't want something to look cheesy like that, it didn't look cheesy. It looked pretty good, the CGI. But if you don't want to look too computery, you have to hire a lot of extras. But Hollywood can't afford that. Hence why Hollywood only had like a couple hundred extras, and they added in the CGI technology for the rest. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, for the war, for the Helm's Deep battle. Yeah. You see what I'm saying, guys? Yeah, but I'm officially part of the Lord of the Rings family, man. I finished the fucking book. All I have left to read is like 150 pages worth of the appendices. After that, I'm done. But the appendices, I don't have to. I can take my time with that because it's not a part of the story. It's just the history of Middle Earth, the history of the second age, the first age, and all that stuff in Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying here? Whereas Fellowship, the time when Frodo destroys the ring is the third age of Lord of the Rings. The appendices is the history of Middle Earth, like the third age, the second age, the first age. Like the Rings of Power takes place, I think, in the second age or first age of Lord of the Rings. It's a prequel, pretty much, right? You guys all know that show, The Rings of Power? Yeah, it's coming out like in a couple months from now, September 2nd. I'll watch it. But the show looks a little bit, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like Lord of the Rings. It feels kind of like Game of Thrones. It doesn't look like, it looks, the elves and orcs look a bit weird. It doesn't really feel like Lord of the Rings. It feels like Game of Thrones, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And Amazon poured, I heard, like $1 billion worth of money for like 6 seasons. Yeah, man. They poured a lot of money towards that show, Amazon. Yeah. So I'm officially part of the Zaynus family. I'm officially part of the Zaynus family. You see what I'm saying? I'm officially part of the Zaynus family. I'm officially part of the Zaynus family. Really, Ivan? Yes, man. I'm officially part of the Zaynus family. Yeah. No, sorry, not the Zaynus family, the Lord of the Rings family. Obviously, I wrote Zaynus. I'm officially part of the Lord of the Rings family because I finished the book. Obviously, I now know that feeling. All you guys out there who are thinking of reading Lord of the Rings, I now know the feeling of finishing the whole book. It's a good feeling, man. Once you finish the whole book of Lord of the Rings, it's an amazing feeling. Holy shit, I read the whole book. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I watch the movies, I always want to read the book. Yeah, I wanted to read the book for myself. That's why, like a couple years ago, I purchased it on Amazon for like $30. I bought this edition, the box that you guys know the box that I have. I bought the edition, and then now I finished the whole what? I finished like the entire like 3 books, man. Fellowship of the Ring, you know what I'm saying? Two Towers and Return of the King. Yeah, man. I finished the books. Today I'll be able to make a second video, guys, because I'll be getting my smokes and my food around like midnight tonight. Why? And I won't tell you why. I'm just letting you know. I'll get my smokes and my what and my food around like midnight tonight. And today I can make 2 videos. And I'll work after I make this video and I upload. I'm gonna my younger stepbrother should be back from work, and I will work on my book earlier today. And then once I work on my book, I'll make my second video. And around midnight, I'll go get my smokes and my what? Go get my smokes and some food. Maybe some slices of pizza. I don't know. 2 slices of pizza, 2 garlic sauces, 2 drinks at Bob's Pizza. I'll get some food for myself. It depends what my step family makes upstairs. Yesterday I had some good lasagna. It just depends what they make. Obviously, if they make good food, I won't get slices. I'll just get smokes. But if not, if there's nothing to eat at home, I'll just go to the store and get my slices and my smokes. Get my slices and my smokes. Yeah, 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 man. I remember Peter Jackson. He said in an interview, "Yeah, I like Two Towers the best." Yeah, Two Towers. When you watch it, it's the best of the three movies. Two Towers. When you watch it, you see a lot of people like Fellowship of the Ring better. A lot of people like Fellowship of the Ring or Return of the King the best. A lot of people do not like. A lot of people think Two Towers is the worst of the three movies because it has the slowest pacing of the three movies. When you watch Two Towers, it has the slowest pacing. There's not much going on in the movie, not much action in the movie compared to what Fellowship of the Ring and Return of the King. You see what I'm saying? But if you watch it, it's the best movie, man. Like it's an amazing. It's an amazing story. Within the reason why I like Two Towers best because Two Towers is the bridge between the two movies. It's the middle movie, obviously. The same time that's when you get introduced to all the characters for the first time. You get introduced to Theoden. You get introduced to what Aemir, Erwin, Wormtongue. You get introduced to the people of Rohan. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Obviously, you get introduced to Gollum in Return of the King in Two Towers. You get introduced to the people of Gondor, Faramir. You know what I'm saying? Hence why I like Two Towers the best. And you have the Helm's Deep battle in the end, which is the best battle in the whole series. I'm not kidding around. When you watch the Helm's Deep battle, yeah, the Helm's Deep battle is the best battle in the series. It's better than even all the battles in Return. As Return of the King, the battles are all rushed. They weren't as good as the Helm's Deep battle. It has more action, but the battles were rushed and they weren't as good. See what I'm saying? Hence why I like Two Towers the best. But you can argue Fellowship Ring is better. But the reason why I don't like Fellowship Ring better because Fellowship Ring is too linear. It's just about the nine. It's just about the nine journeying through Moria. You know, saying Gandalf falls down, obviously, and what? You know what I'm saying? And then the Fellowship is broken. Frodo ends up leaving. You have the battle in the Mines of Moria, which is cool. And you also have what? You have the battle in the end. You might hear some noise. Someone's here. You have the battle in the end of so it's sick obviously, but it's what it's very lit. You don't really explore Middle Earth that much in Fellowship of the Ring. That's why I don't like it better than Two Towers. You see what I'm saying? Whereas Two Towers, you get introduced to the Rohirrim, the people of Rohan, Theoden. You get introduced to Gollum. You get introduced to Faramir. So you get introduced to all these characters. Whereas Lord of the Rings, it's just a nine. Hence why it's very linear. Hence why I don't like it better than Two Towers. But it's close. Fellowship Ring is close to Two Towers, obviously. It's close, but I like Two Towers better. And Return of the King is the worst of the three movies. It had pretty messy CGI. It was a masterpiece, but it had messy CGI, and the wars are rushed, and the story is just not as good. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But you can argue what Fellowship of the Ring is better than Two Towers and what and Return of the King if you want. I mean, you can argue that, but I mean, it just depends on your taste. Everyone has their own opinions, right? Yeah, everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own opinions. The technician just came downstairs, so you might hear some noise, guys. You guys excuse the noise. Yeah. Yeah. That's why what? Yeah. You're looking at something what? Yeah, man. Hence why I'm so excited for my last Overseas movie project. Because what? I am so excited for that last Overseas movie project because what? Me and VG are gonna be what? We're gonna be boss, and I'm gonna make that amazing movie based off my amazing fantasy novel that I wrote. Based off my amazing fantasy novel that I wrote. Yeah. Ivan, will Zanes be better than Lord of the Rings? It'll be close, but Zanes will beat out Lord of the Rings by a bit. Zanes will beat out Lord of the Rings by a bit because I'm acting in the movie, guys. Because I'm acting in the movie, it'll be better than Lord of the Rings, man. And I just because the movie has more money put into it doesn't necessarily make it a better movie. The Hobbit was made for a lot more money than Lord of the Rings, and yet it wasn't better than Lord of the Rings. But because I'm putting like 9 8 million towards Zanes, it's gonna make the movie that much better. You're gonna get a better experience. Unheard of world building, unheard of horror. The wolves are 3 times scarier than the boss orc in Lord of the Rings, the ring race, Pennywise a clown, and the bats too. You know what I'm saying? And you're looking at action sequences better than even Helm's Deep. If you think Helm's Deep was a good war, think of a war better than that for the end war. For the end war, yeah, looking at a crazy war. Yeah, yeah, that's the amazing what life me we're gonna live, and we're gonna start that. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, the reason why Zane's will be better than Lord of the Rings is because I'm acting in the movie. Me and Vijay are acting in the movie. Me acting in the movie will make the movie that much better. Duh. And then what? And then I'm putting $980 million towards Zanis, unheard of world building, action sequences, and horror of the wolves. You see what I'm saying here? Zanis is a better story, written story than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings has the better world building, richer world building, obviously, richer history, richer past, richer world building, richer dialogue, obviously. It has the richer world building, but Zanis has the richer story. At the end of the day, it comes down to your story. Zanis is a better story than Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying here? That's one reason why it will be better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. And I'm paying. Don't forget, I'm also paying the crewmen way more money than what they made for Lord of the Rings. Hence, they're going to work harder for me. Hence, I'll get a better movie because I'm paying all the crewmen 150K, 170K, 200K around there. The supervisors are 200K. They're all going to work harder for me, and hence I'll get a better movie. I'm paying the actors more money, way more money than how much Lord of the Rings actors got on average. All the Lord of the Rings actors got like 250K, 250K for Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying? All the actors for Lord of the Rings got like $250,000 for Lord of the Rings. And I heard they got like a 1 mil bonus for Lord of the Rings, obviously, which is a lot of money. But even then, I'm still paying the Zane's actors more money than what they made on average. You see what I'm saying? As $1 million after taxes is 600K. Their agent takes 10% of it. They made like, I don't know, $40,000, which is not okay paycheck, obviously. But yeah, I'm paying what? The Zane's actors more money than what those Lord of the Rings actors got. The only ones who got like a lot of money are Ian McKellen. I heard Ian McKellen got like 13 million bucks. He made like 7 million for like Fellowship of the Ring and like 6 million for Return of the King and Two Towers. He made like 13 million bucks, Ian McKellen. So he made a lot of money, obviously. And Christopher Lee, I think, got like a million or something like that. And Andy Serkis got paid like $1 million. You might hear some noise. Yeah, yeah. Hence why Zane's will be better than Lord of the Rings. But it'll be close though. It's very tough to top Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. It has very, very rich dialogue. You have the language of the elves. Hence why it's tough to top that story. You see what I'm saying? But because I'm acting the movie, it'll be better than Peter Jackson's Rings. It'll be very, very close, man. There's some people who might even like. I'm gonna make a prediction. There's some people who might say, I like Lord of the Rings better than Zanus. There's some people who might like Lord of the Rings better than Zanus. I'm gonna be honest. There's some people who Zanus might have what it'll have good reviews, but there's gonna be fans out there who are gonna hate on my movie. Obviously, there's some fans who'd be like, I like Zanus better than I like Lord of the Rings better than Zanus. Yeah, there's gonna be some fans out there who are gonna say, yeah, I like Lord of the Rings. I highly doubt though because I'm acting the movie, man. Because I'm acting the movie will be much better, obviously. But there's gonna be fans out there who might say I like Star Wars better. I like Lord of the Rings better. There's some fans who might like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings better, Gladiator better. And I'm giving you a heads up. It's not going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying, as you can't please everyone in this world. When you make a movie, you're not going to please all the fans. Some fans who might hate on your movie. Obviously, you see what I'm saying? Me and VJ are gonna have to get used to that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson, they're gonna be very, very nervous because they don't want to fuck up my story. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah, I even wrote a master's. We don't want to fuck up his story. We don't want to fuck up his story. You know what I'm saying? Because what? We don't want to fuck up his story. You know what I'm saying? Because Zance is a masterpiece. Yeah, they don't want to fuck it up. Obviously. Hence why Peter Jackson will listen to me. He will take his notes. He will co-write the script with me. Help me out, obviously, help me out with the wording, the dialogue, all that stuff. Ivan, your dog's already good. No, Peter, I need your help. You wrote that masterpiece of a script, Fellowship of the Ring. I need you to help me write the script. He helps me. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, I want them helping me too. They wrote Mandalorian and Boba Fett. They can help me write the script, obviously. The way you get an amazing script, you write an amazing script, obviously. Obviously, right. Will Zane's be a good script, Ivan? I don't know. I can't predict the future. No, I'm joking. Zane's will be an amazing script. Will be an amazing script because as long as you follow the story, the book, you'll get an amazing script. Obviously, will the script be as good as Fellowship of the Ring? It'll be just as good as Fellowship of the Ring. But Fellowship of the Ring, I told you, because Lord of the Rings, you have the rich dialogue, the language of the elves. It has a richer. Fellowship of the Ring has richer, obviously, dialogue, richer world building than my book. But my Zane story is a richer story. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, guys? But Zane's will be an amazing script, obviously. I'm gonna write an amazing script. And hence why once I finish writing that script for Zane's, I'm gonna party it up. Obviously. You might have some noise. I'm gonna party it up. Party it up. kind of party it up with what Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. Once I finish writing that script. Yeah, and Peter Jackson, Ivan, yeah, we wrote an amazing script, Ivan. You know, we only need to, okay, Peter, let's go over the script at least one time. That way we can see if we can make any changes to the dialogue and the scenes. And we go over the whole script. Go over the whole script one time. That's enough. 1 to 2 times for 3 months. We go over the whole script for a good okay, Peter, I want to go over the script for a good 3 months. We keep going over it and you see if we need to make any changes to the story. You know what I'm saying? But Peter Jackson goes, Ivan, we barely need to make any changes. You wrote a masterpiece. This is going to be an amazing movie, Ivan. You wrote a masterpiece, Zane. All you have to do is follow the book. You get an amazing story. Yeah. All you have to do is just follow the book. You get an amazing story. Make a few changes. You can add some more details for the dialogue and scenes, obviously. I'm going to add details with the eagles, the crows, Aratat. Aratat is not as well developed compared to the human characters. That's why I'm going to add some more scenes with Aratat. Famia is not that well developed. You see what I'm saying? Or that's why I'm gonna add. I'm gonna have what scenes with when Aratat talks about Famia, the Faful. Whereas in the book, Aratat does not talk to Faful about Famia when he's away. And I'm gonna add some of that in the movie. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. You might hear some noise. Yeah. Mr. McIver.